I mean, honestly, what do you think about this? What's your honest opinion? Is this crazy? I mean, like Chris, you're new to this. Is this crazy?
Well, yes and no. I mean, it sounds crazy because, like I said last week, it's hard to imagine that something that simple can affect you so internally and externally. But then everything you're saying is logical.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's like I'm kind of really confused inside, and I'm very analytical. So I want to know, why this is working, or why it's going to work, or exactly how it's going to work. So it's very confusing.
I understand. Why does electricity work?
I don't know.
But do you use it?
I use it every day.
Like
Using it right now.
If you're in the dark, is it nice to know where the switch is?
Very much so.
So I know why it works, and I've even kind of explained why it works, but it's almost like it's so simple in how it works. Why does it work?
Right.
Does that make sense? It's so simple of how and why it works, but why does it work? Anybody else? Is this crazy? I mean, honestly, I don't care.
No, a lot of things you say really resonate and make me feel like, make me think about things deeper than I have, really. And I also watched the movie, I ordered The Secret, and I watched that Sunday night, and that was really amazing, too.
Yeah.
I'd recommend doing that.
Yeah. I tell you another one is What the Bleep Do We Know?
I ordered that.
Now that is showing the internal changes with thoughts and neuropeptides. The only part they miss is that we can do it right here with the tapping. That shows the internal processing of what occurs inside your body with emotions and feelings. Seriously. But so I mean, is this crazy? I mean, when you first came in, the first day or the first whatever, your honest opinion.
Well, it just sounded a little too easy in a way. I mean, it's not easy, but it sounds like it's too easy. But when you start getting into it, you realize, there's a lot of stuff under the surface that just hangs out there, and it's been there for a long time, and you haven't really addressed it, even though you know it's there, I think subconsciously. But does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a shifting sands.
Are you sold on it yet?
I think so, yeah.
So that's not a yes then. I think so.
I am, I really am. And like I said, watching that movie last night, or Sunday night, that really helped me too. I think there's a lot to it.
Well, I just took it with faith. Just took it and used it, and it works.
Yeah. So that's really, I mean, even though you took faith in it, even if you don't believe in it and you do it, it
Yeah.
still works.
And I'm using it on my roommate too, so. Shouldn't bought into it yet, but
Yeah. So when you first heard it for the first time, whatever, what were your honest thoughts?
well, I thought that this is
Be honest.
well, I thought it was easy, but I just took it with faith. I just did it. I just came here to do it.
Okay.
And so I don't have a lot of resistance.
Well, that's good.
So
Who has resistance?
See, we had primed Cindy already, though.
Oh, you primed her. Okay.
so I just do it all the time.
And that's a smart thing.
I do it when I hurt, and I do it when I have an issue about anger or food
Good.
or anything.
Very good.
Shocking, isn't it?
I am.
Now, I've come for over a year, and this is my girlfriend, Sue, and she suggested I come here, I guess it was over 4 years ago now, and when she told me about it, she was like, well, this guy, and he taps, and I was like, I don't think so. And so, I mean, but I came 3 years later, and I'm really grateful, and I really heard, what you were saying, having to continue to tap. And today, I'm a lot freer than I ever have been in my entire life. And I've worked really hard on myself, on trying to get better and let go of those things in my past. And, today, it's like those problems that I came to Robert with are gone. And there's some, things, because I still have some of those past references that I cling to because I think it makes me safe. I don't know. And but I still tap on them, you know. And so it's given me a whole new way of life. And I am definitely a much better person, much freer person. And who I get to be with people is really totally myself. And that's a true freedom. So thanks. So just keep on coming back.
Yeah, I have had resistance. I guess, you know, they say be careful what you ask for. And, you know, all my life I've been looking for ways to help work through what these emotional attachments were, and have done a lot of self-help stuff over many years. And it was like walking in here and whatever's kind of like, okay, it can't be that easy. And it's like, do I really want to do it? Do I really finally want to work through all this? So that's more of the food is not even an issue now. It's like everything else. And what I find is memories that keep coming up over and over until I finally tap on them and let them go. And one night, I was so sick last week with the flu, but there was this one night where all these memories were coming up, and I couldn't even go to sleep or go to bed until I just tapped on them all to release them all, and finally I could go to sleep. But that's what I'm finding is happening, is these whole blocks of memories are coming up.
And you have the ability to let them go now.
Right, right.
Good.
So that's why I asked the question earlier, as you're letting go of some of the stuff that happened, so-called problems or resistance, does that then, the cloud kind of clear to allow some of the more positive memories that are there to surface?
Absolutely. Of course, you know, what you hold in mind, you attract of the same kind.
Right.
So what you're doing is you're getting rid of what? The bad ones.
Right.
And so the bad ones fade away, and all of a sudden you'll have more good ones than bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand that? So that's very powerful. So at first, you just too easy.
Well, too easy, and then I'm also, you know, okay, I want to know exactly how to do it, you know, show me the method, whatever. I'm afraid of making a mistake, all of that perfectionism stuff. So,
You let go of that one,
so
right?
we're letting go of that one.
Right. Right. I have. That's Sue. I remember Sue.
Well, Tom and I, my husband and I met in an NLP communication course in Tulsa back in like '81. So I had some experience with that. And then we had a friend, Dr. Wyrick, who did some similar type of a thing. It was in terms of it. But what I told you after the first time, I said, if I hadn't had some background of this, I think you were trying to sell snake oil, you know. It just, it does. It sounds too easy. It's too simple. It can't be that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it does work. It's too easy. It's easy and it's simple. And
Might as well be 3 in the row because Sue introduced it to me. Linda brought me here, and I'm a school teacher and just was having a horrible problem with a student. And Sue and I tapped on it all the way from Norman back to Oklahoma City. That student and I had a wonderful relationship for the rest of the school year. And it was great because I got to kind of go in and have a sense of how that student felt, let go of what I was doing, pulling that resistance. I mean, this was a push-pull student-teacher relationship, and I was to let go of my power to allow him the power that he needed to make it a better school year. So, thank you, girlfriends.
we were driving down the road coming back from a workshop. So we're just tapping on our student and all. And then he said, I need to tap on my ex-husband. And I'm like, I need to tap on my ex-husband. We're sitting there tapping just like crazy, you know. So it actually, I think it shifted some way from the boy to that, you know. But it's so wild how it does seem to shift it. And when the one thing's tapped out, then there's like something else comes up. It's kind of like the layers of an onion or something. So, but it was fun.
It was. Thank you.
Very good.
When my friend Leighton first started telling me about the tapping, I was like, there's no way. There's no way. So he finally convinced me to come to one of your free seminars. And that night, you got rid of my claustrophobia that I've had for 40 years, and it has not come back. And that's why I'm in here today.
Good deal.
And it's working. I don't know how, but it's working.
And as long as it works, that's all that matters. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we don't want blind faith, though. We want proof. You know, one thing I always We don't want, one thing I always ask, guys, don't take what I say as gospel truth. Test it to see that it is true. And that way, you be your own convincer. If you don't use it, you don't get the results. Again, the tapping is just like toilet paper. When you use it, you get results, and if you don't, you get a rash of problems.